Hi, so I just want to talk about something real quick, and what I want to talk about is another dream that I had. This video is kind of like a part 2 to the previous video that I made. This dream is basically about demons returning back into society where you could see them. I've written down the dream on the notes app on my phone and I'll be sharing screenshots from it. I will not be reading word for word and I'll also be including things that I didn't mention in the notes. I having a little trouble remembering all the exact details of the dream, but I remember the general gist of it. Take a look at when this note was last edited. It was also the date that I got the dream. The dream began while I was outside. It was night time. I looked out towards the sky and saw lightning and dark clouds. I suppose that it had multiple lightning strikes and it was lighting up the sky. From my perspective, the lightning wasn't happening where I could see it. It was happening behind a cloud. So when it was lighting up the sky, I saw a huge black cloud shaped like a dragon. I can't really remember what made me write this next part of the dream, but I think it's because even though sometimes we may have had thunderstorms in the past, I never saw lightning like this before. It was like if I was seeing this type of extravagant and extraordinary lightning. It wasn't no type of thin lightning that you're seeing in the sky. It was this type of thick lightning. And when the lightning lit up the sky, it did not look like the normal white lightning. It was lighting up the sky in this type of reddish color, and that's basically the end of the dream. I had thought that this dream was symbolizing a demon with great powers over the elements that was ruling over Trinidad. At no point in the dream did I hear or see rain, nor did I hear the sound of thunder. Some time ago, which was probably like more than 2 months ago, I was watching one of Celestial's video on YouTube, and in the video she was recalling that she had a similar dream like mine years ago, and she had mentioned that the dream meant that demons were returning back into society where they would interact with us and we could visibly see them. I couldn't find back the video, nor could I find a specific prophecy that she had published on YouTube where she spoke about the specific thing that I remember she saying. However, the good news is that she has her own website where she publishes her written prophecies. Okay, so go to whatever web browser that you just use. In this case, I'll be using Google Chrome. Type in the search bar The Masters' Voice Prophecy Blog and hit search. When the results come up, click this one. This is currently the first thing that you will see. Just hit the menu over here. When you click the menu, it will show you all the different parts of her website, as well as the different prophecies that she's published on her website. Some of the prophecies that she published here is not on YouTube, as well as some of the prophecies that she has published on YouTube is not on her website. Hence the reason why I'm using one of her written prophecies and not a video. This is the section that we'll be looking at, specifically this prophecy. I won't be showing you the entire thing, you could read it on your own time. I also just want to mention that when I took the screenshots from her website, I put it into a photo editing app and inverted the colors. Okay, so feel free to pause the video to take your time to read the screenshots. Take a look at when she posted her prophecy to her website. Celestia was watching the sky in her dream. It was heavily overcast with black clouds. The sky also had this purplish color. She basically saw these thick lightning bolts coming from the sky and landing on the ground. She somehow knew that this was symbolizing that demons were returning in the end of days. It would appear that it was not any type of normal lightning. This type of lightning would remain and not disappear. It would seem like it was like an actual spear impaled in the ground, but just that the spear was made out of lightning. I think it probably would have looked like that one scene in Percy Jackson where Percy was fighting Luke. You know how Percy was kind of holding that lightning rod thing? I just imagining that, but bigger and impaled in the ground. Anyways, I don't think that this really important. This was just a part of the dream and visions that she saw. Sometime after that dream, she had a next vision. In the vision, she saw about 4 lightning rods striking the ground, and on each lightning rod, she saw a leather belt hanging on it. These leather belts had symbols on them which were different from one another. God had basically told her that these leather belts represented and belonged to the different demonic leaders that would return. God had told her that demons and Nephilims will return and have some type of ruling over the world. They will use the powers that they have against us. Things they could expect are genetic manipulation, mutation of flesh, DNA splicing, and both genders of humanity mating with the demons and the Nephilims. It would also seem that sirens, which are mermaids, and other demonic creatures like aliens, will also return back into society where you could visibly see them and interact with them. They also will use whatever powers that they have against us, and you could also expect humanity to breed with them as well. Also, you could expect all these demonic beings to do other things. Okay, so you know how Satan does appear as an angel of light? You could expect all these demonic beings to do low quality miracles and to share all the different type of technology that they have with us. They as well as their actions would seem good and helpful, but do not be fooled. Everything that they do will be some type of deception, just like how it was mentioned in the Bible. They are not good and they hate us. Everything that they do to supposedly help us will ultimately be for our destruction. Okay, so now I just want to mention that if it wasn't for Celestial, I would not have known that the dream that I had meant demons were returning. So huge credit to Celestial for that. I think that's all I have for this video. Anyways people, Jesus bless.